Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. 3 days ago, it was my 27 females, twin cousins, 14 male and female, 14th birthday. They are both into gaming and digital art. So I built them 2 computers to keep in their own rooms and 2 drawing tablets with a screen. What do you call those in English? My cousins were, understandably, over the moon. My mother and my brother, 14, were very pissed. My brother has ADHD, and this quarantine has been hard on him because he has nothing to occupy himself with. No Switch. My cousins have 2. Gifted them for Christmas this year. No computer, just an old laptop of mine I'm not using that I gave him for school. No phone. He also has an old phone. When he saw what I gifted my cousins, he flipped out on me. And my mother was on his side, telling me that she had begged me many times to gift him something to occupy his time with. She lost her job due to corona because quarantine was impacting his mental health. But I refused, saying that I don't have money to waste. I answered that, yeah, of course, because gifting him something is a waste of money. My brother is a serial rage quitter, to say so. You know, the kid loses at a game. Computer, keyboard, joystick, TV. Ah shit, there we go again type. In the last year only, he managed to destroy a laptop, birthday gift from my mother, which lasted 2 months. An iPad, birthday gift from me, 1.5 months. Another laptop, from me to substitute the other, lasted 1.3 weeks. An Android phone from my mother lasted 1.4 months. An iPhone, from me to substitute the other, destroyed somewhere in this quarantine. I found out about it only later. His Switch, Christmas gift from me, 1.3 days. All destroyed in a fit of rage. After the Switch flew against the wall after the 3rd day he had it. I got fed up and told him that he would have nothing from me from now on. It's a waste of money. I reminded him of this, but my mother took his side, telling me that I was being an a-hole because I know he has ADHD and rage problems, and having nothing makes him suffer a lot. I told them that I don't care if he has ADHD, he has no one but himself to blame for having nothing, because he shat on everything we gave him, and I honestly can't keep buying him a computer a month for his mental health. My brother had a total meltdown. He tossed himself on the floor and started crying, screaming and kicking. My aunt kicked him and my mother out of the party. Now my mother keeps blowing up my phone, begging me to buy him something and to consider the implications of a 14-year-old who has nothing, while watching the rest of his family and friends have everything, and that he feels unloved and divorced because of his disorder. I told her that he needs to work on his issues with his therapist first. Yes, he has one. Then I will consider it. Am I the a-hole? You're not the a-hole, OP. Buying electronics for a child or teenager with ADHD is, in my opinion, not going to help them. Exposing them to a constantly changing stimulus from the games and internet content does nothing for their attention deficit. If your mom really wants to occupy her son, then go back to the age-old kids' toys. They need to work on controlling his attitude problem first, because anger problems and ADHD do not excuse your brother's actions. I'm sure his therapist can recommend activities that can help with his boredom. That seems like a smarter way to deal with this. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. You have given so many chances and he threw them away, literally. Constantly replacing items that he destroyed in a fit of rage is only enabling him and telling him that there will be no consequences for his actions. You are right not to continue enabling him. Your mother needs to follow your lead. Is he on medication by any chance? If not, perhaps he should be, as his condition sounds extreme. You've tried to be the best sister you can, OP. You are doing the right thing to let it go. It sounds to me, from what limited information we have, like the parents have handled the brother with kid gloves his entire life because of his ADHD, instead of trying to figure out ways to help him manage it and compensate for his difficulty, paying attention and keeping his anger in check. I've known a few parents of ADHD kids who treat their children as if they're mentally much younger than their actual age. My guess is that because ADHD can cause people who have it to fall behind in school due to lack of attention, the parents who do this start treating the kids like they're slow when they're actually not. Not the a-hole. ADHD and anger issues aren't an excuse for destroying thousands of dollars worth of electronics within days or weeks of getting them. My roommate in college had pretty serious ADHD and would get pissed if he got beaten at a video game. Yet the worst he ever did was slam his fists on his keyboard and dislodge a few keys. My sister also has anger issues. Once she got mad that I beat her at Super Smash Bros. And threw the Wii remote, causing it to no longer work properly. After that, she was mortified and learned to set down any fragile items or electronics before venting her rage. He had multiple opportunities to learn to treat expensive equipment better, and your mom had multiple opportunities to try and teach him to stop smashing stuff. Story 2. I, 17 female, live with my parents 50 plus and sisters 23, husband around 25, and their newborn 4 months. Don't take it wrongly. I like babies and I find my niece adorable. But ever since she arrived, the house smells very badly. My sister would dump her towels with the other laundry, making it smell of breast milk, and if left long enough, smells worse than spoiled milk. I have tried asking her to at least rinse them before washing, but she said that's what the washing machine is for, and she never bothered to turn it on. It has always been one of the other family members who drop the laundry and switches on the washing machine. She has a problem of having her milk all over the place too, and never bothered to wipe them off, causing them, floor mats and tablecloth etc., to stain and smell. Her room, let's just say I have been avoiding that part of the house. I have no idea how her husband puts up with that. My sister herself smells half of the time because she just doesn't bother to change clothes, even when it got wet with her milk. She also has the habit of leaving her things like milk bombs all over the sink unwashed. I'm not exaggerating when I say that the whole house stinks because of her. I know breastfeeding mothers are beautiful and they are feeding their child food and all, but seriously, her smell is driving me up the walls and I would have gladly run away if there's no COVID. My parents and her don't allow me to use air fresheners either, claiming that they are toxic for the baby. I tried many times to ask her to at least wash her things on time, but she kept brushing me off saying she's busy and my parents agreed with her. Finally, earlier I snapped when I saw her using my shirt to wipe something. We argued and I ended up asking if she ever realized how horrible she smells. My whole family, except my brother-in-law, always stayed out, and niece, who can't talk yet, are calling me a-holes for daring to call new mama stink. I don't think being a mother gives her the right to be disgusting as hell, but apparently it is normal, and I should put up with it since I'm not in her shoes. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your sister just had a baby 4 months ago, and that takes a toll on someone. Let's not even mention how hard it is to take care of a newborn, but that doesn't excuse her uncleanliness. She's not living alone. Even if she was, she still needs to keep her environment clean for her baby. It sounds like she's making the house very uncomfortable for you and you just snapped. But since you can't go anywhere else, I will suggest you clean up after her just a little bit. Like doing her laundry before it starts to stink and cleaning up after her after she has breastfed. It sounds annoying, but it doesn't seem like she plans on changing anytime soon. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. That smell is nauseating and she should clean up after herself. But do you think she's overwhelmed? Your sister is a new mother and it can be extremely exhausting trying to keep up with everything. Her husband needs to help out. If she is busy with the baby, he should be cleaning. They need to work as a unit and help one another. I think you probably have a more sensitive sense of smell than most people. I never experienced this issue when around breastfeeding mothers, maybe because diaper smells were so much more prominent. Since you can't sway her and your parents side with her, perhaps you could do laundry when hers starts to smell bad to you, or even before that happens. It's not fair, but it might be the best you can do. Not the a-hole. This is lazy and disgusting behavior and surely must be creating bacteria in the house. I'm curious if she may be suffering from PPD, as this overwhelmed by the duties required behavior could definitely be linked to her mental health. As much as it sucks though, the best option here is for you to step up and try to encourage others in the house to also step up and get on top of the cleaning. I don't think you're the a-hole for calling it out, but clearly your sister needs help to keep things flowing in the house. And honestly, a mom of a 4-month-old is probably not going to respond well to criticism, but she may respond better to assistance. Story 3. My first memory was being cared for by the staff at the orphanage where I was left as an infant. I have no memory of my biological parents and didn't know anything about them, not even if they were alive or dead. I lived in the orphanage for about 5 years. That's when I met my parents. They were a young couple who were incapable of having children and decided to adopt. We had this program at the orphanage where prospective parents could come meet the children, and some divine entity made sure they took a liking to me and I took a liking to them. After a lot of bureaucracy, I was adopted into an amazing family. They made sure I always felt accepted and did everything they could to make me feel at home. I owe a lot to my parents, and I doubt I'll ever be able to repay them in this life or the next. They raised me to be the man that I am today. My career also has a lot of influence. I followed my father's footsteps and became a doctor. I just finished my residency and started working at a hospital. But a few months ago, after a long time, I was contacted by someone who claimed to be my biological family. I asked my parents to talk to the orphanage and check if that was true. Apparently, the orphanage confirmed these people are my biological parents. Now, they wanted to meet me. I'll be honest in saying that I wasn't looking forward to it. But regardless, I accepted and we met. They were nice people and all. Apparently, they were going through a really rough patch and couldn't afford another child. They had 3 kids, I was the 4th. Thus, they decided to give me up for adoption. Now, all through this, I wasn't exactly comfortable. I don't know these people and I don't particularly feel any attachment to them. To be honest, I felt some resentment. I won't ever treat them badly, but I decided that I don't really want any contact with them. I told this to my parents and they were pretty understanding. I told my biological parents I wasn't really comfortable pretending I was a part of their family. They could, of course, contact me if they needed anything, but I wasn't going to become a member of their household. They took it pretty bad. While my biological parents didn't say much, my siblings were very upset, telling me I was a spoiled brat who was raised with a golden spoon and many more insults. I really cut contact after that. But now even my friends are saying I shouldn't be so heartless. Now this is really keeping me awake at night. Was I the a-hole in this situation? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. While it would have been very nice and happy for you to connect with them and have 2 families, you don't owe them anything. They gave up that chance when they gave you up, and you aren't obligated to remain in contact with them. They may be hurt by that decision, but it's ultimately your decision to make, not theirs. Not the a-hole. However, I will say this from the siblings' point of view. They didn't have a choice on your adoption. That was all your biological parents' decision. They have probably been looking forward to meeting you for a long time, and the fact that you want nothing to do with them probably broke their hearts. They expressed themselves in an awful way, and I'm sorry for that. You are entitled, though, to not want to meet them. Just as they didn't make the decision, neither did you. However, this is something you can control. You made the right decision for you, and in time they will understand. Not the a-hole. In Fantasyland, you would have met them, instantly bonded, and lived happily ever after. However, this is reality, and these people were strangers. They asked to meet you, and you agreed to a meeting. Their expectations are just that, their expectations. You are in no way obligated to have a relationship with these people. They gave you up because they couldn't afford another child. That was a brave and unselfish thing to do. You fortunately, after some time passed, were chosen by your parents and had a great life. The fact that you did does not mean you owe them gratitude for giving you up. They are totally overlooking the time you spent waiting for your parents to choose you. They're also totally minimizing the possible hurt you may feel in knowing that you were the child they chose not to keep. If you feel that meeting them was enough, then it is.